by their personality.
I agree with that, but I disagree that people should not do that. I think that people should really just, what am I saying? I think that people should really agree with I cannot speak today. Anyway, I think that people should judge people by their personality, not their looks, because that would just save a lot of help a lot of issues and things.
I disagree with Trevor. I think they should be judged by their actions, not their personality. Because if you're judging them by their personality, it'd really just be judging them by judging someone who isn't you.
I disagree. I say yes, you could judge people by their personalities sometimes, because Bruno talked to Maria, their maid, and he thought that her personality was nice, and she was nice.
I agree with you, but I also think that you shouldn't, because everyone has a different personality than just have the same personality. And you don't have the same personality as somebody else. You have a different.
What do you think, Karina?
I agree with that, because we need to focus on the personality and but not their looks, because it doesn't matter what they look like. It just matters what they do, and just don't focus on their looks.
I agree with Karina, but I also think that you don't want to judge someone by their personality, because it's they don't talk or speak or don't really do anything active, and you can't really judge them by their personality, because if they don't talk to you, then what's really judge them.
That's also kind of like the saying, don't judge a book by its cover. Don't judge someone by their actions, judge them by who they are, and not what they do, or oh, this person's dumb because they don't do sports.
So mainly, we're saying it's not okay to judge.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. Next topic. With judging people by their personalities instead of their actions, kind of touching on what Colton was saying with that, is that with the actions bit, you have no idea what they've been through. They could be doing it for some reason. If you catch someone stealing an apple or something from the story, they could be, I don't know, they could be stealing it because they're starving or something. You know what I mean?
I know what you're saying.
For influences,
Influences was another topic out of the 4. And we were wondering what influenced Hitler to do what he did to the Jews.
What influenced Hitler to do what he did to Jews, I think, was that there wasn't just one type of person in Germany. There was 2 different types and others, and he just wanted to be people that a perfect little world, but it wasn't going to be that way because of the Jews and other people that had disabilities and stuff.
I agree but disagree with you. In my evidence, I think that he blamed them on the loss because of World War I. Because in my book, when I was reading it, it was talking about that he blamed them on communists and specialists and Jews for their loss in World War I.
I agree, but I also think that I think that the Jews might have one of the Jews could have hurt one of Hitler's family members, and then that made him be mad and angry at them, so that made and then he thought that it would be a good thing to kill them.
I agree. I have something similar. Maybe he didn't have a good life growing up. Because from the book, when he saw Gretel, And Bruno, like, he was kind of mean about how when Bruno mentioned how she was doing like something in school, and he like just said kind of rudely, "Why are you taking that?"
I have something to add on Keely's. I found in research that Keely's kind of right. He did have a bad growing up, but he also, his parents were Jewish. I think that's could be a reason why he also targeted Jews. Because I found that in research that his parents were part Jewish.
There's question of whether his father might have been.
Yeah.
I want to add on to yours, Damien, from before. In my book, and it said that Hitler and all the other people kind of also judged the Jews because one time there was water poisoning, and they said that the Jews went into the water and they shot themselves in there, and apparently it gave them poison.
In my book, I was reading a page, and it said that Hitler wanted to go to work for 1,000 years, but he also committed suicide because of everyone was kind of judging him by what he was doing to the Jews, because some of them didn't like watching them like look out their window, watching the Jews getting shot.
I would like to move on to a third topic of like history, and should we care about it? Honestly, I think we really should care about it, because if we don't care about it, then we won't learn from our major mistakes. Like, for example, like, let's see here. If we think about it, World War II would be an example, because if we wouldn't have learned, like, hey, don't try to kill all these Jews, it makes life horrible, then who knows, in like the near future, someone else might be trying to start another war.
I agree, and I also think yes, we should, because then we can learn about like the important stuff, like how we learned about the.
I think that history is an important, need-to-know subject because it helps to prevent repeats of the past.
Let's move on to our last one, human rights. And why did Germany feel that Jews didn't deserve human rights? Well, I think that's the case. They didn't deserve human rights because they were kind of, like in my book, I think that Germany just thought Jews were like Polish people. I didn't deserve lives, like that they just thought Poland was like a bad place. So they maybe thought that Polish Jews and like Jews that came from there were just bad and like they just wanted to kill them.
I want to add on to yours, Damien, and Colton's. I think kind of like history, it does matter, and human rights for the Jews. If it wasn't in our history, we could be thinking of doing that again to a specific type of person.
Okay, good job. Good job of holding that discussion together, pushing it forward. Outside circle, what are some good things that the inside circle did? Austin?
Sorry.
Okay, Jordis?
So they kind of really well because they got to like.
We were scrunched on time and they did get to every topic. You're right. Alexis?
Like one topic, and then we it back.
Yes, they were very smooth. And I appreciated how Colton started our conversation. Unfortunately, I was just like, oh, with somehow the microphone got muted, so we didn't even hear your fabulous intro. That was great. You're the only one that did that today, so good job on that. Okay, we are going to switch very quietly, but I want to challenge each of you. Remember, we had some areas in our discussion where we had some opinions, of course. Let's not stop, freeze. We shared our claims, our opinions, and the evidence that we used was not quite evidence that we researched. It was a little questionable on the research, or the evidence. So I'm pushing this next group to really look at your evidence that you're using to support your claim. Okay, thank you. Quickly and quietly.
Wait, so we're looking for evidence?
Well, you're going to share your evidence, but make sure your evidence, keep those with you. Oh. All right, and high five. Okay. I think the
I don't even have
the bell is going to ring. We have to do it again. In 8 minutes. Let's see. Yes, I want you to come over here. All right, the bell is going to ring in 8 minutes. What we're going to do at the end, since we're going the other way. What we're going to do once the bell rings, I want you to look at your rubric, circle the things that you said, yes, I did those in today's. Okay, so that's what you're going to do at the end, and then you're going to put them on my desk. Everybody stay put when the bell rings, okay? And you, second round, they begin.
In our book, The Boy in the Striped Pajamas by John Boyne, one of the most popular topics is the judging, because Hitler judged the Jews, and
So, who all here thinks, what's you guys' opinion on should all people judge others by their personalities?
I think that people, I'm kind of in the middle. I just think that people should be judged by their personalities, not by their looks, because that's really wrong to judge somebody by their looks. Because you don't know, if you just judge people by their looks and not by their personality or anything, you won't be able to get to know them. And most people that judge people by their looks is mostly not good judging.
I agree with you, but I also think that people should judge others as long as it's in a good way. Otherwise, then they shouldn't judge them in a bad way by looks or personality, or just pretty much by looking at them to instantly think, that's a bad person. So,
I agree with you, and I also think that I also think that you shouldn't judge people by their actions either, because you don't know why they're doing that. They could have been through just a huge thing. They could have been through something terrible, and they're doing that thing because of, maybe it's because of what they've been taught. Maybe it's because of just to survive. And you can't judge people by what they do because you don't know why they're doing it.
I agree, because different people have been through this type of thing in their life, and then other people have not exactly easier life, but an easier maybe childhood, I don't know, kind of.
I'd like to add on to you guys' kind of, but what I said is no, you should get to know them before you judge them, and that kind of refers off of don't judge a book by its cover, or
Yeah, no, I don't really think anyone should be judged unless you get to know them really well.
what do you think, Corbin?
I think we all have different personalities. Some people are just mean because you like something they don't.
well, I have another idea about the judging, and it was the Nazis' treatment towards Jews, and not only the book, but in real life, how they judged them. Why did they judge them?
I think that they judge them because, mostly, I'm going to go on ahead to influence this because this kind of goes off of what I'm about to say. Mostly they judge them because of Hitler. He technically put all of their thoughts into their minds because Hitler was the one who started it all. Hitler and the few followers started it all to kill 6 million Jews.
Like those school things that you use propaganda to fool young kids, or use adults and trick them, brainwash them.
I believe Hitler thought this because before that, World War I, Germans lost, and they wanted power, and they wanted to blame it on someone like the Jews.
I think Hitler had a lot of influence on the people because they could have been. Yes, he was the leader of the German people, and
and he had like people believed in him. They thought, oh, he's a god, he's a king, he's my everything, and they thought he knew what was going to do. He knew what was right, and so they followed along with him. And anybody who disagreed, like stood up to him, he was killed. And through my research, there was like 5 million non-Jews killed because they disagreed with Hitler.
Yeah.
I would like to skip over to the human rights because of what I'm about to say, because I'm going to add on to what you just said. So the question that we had for human rights is, why did Germans feel that Jews didn't deserve human rights? And that's because Hitler was the leader of the Germans, so technically they thought what he thought.
I agree with that because he just like really just brainwashed them. He took like all of their beliefs and kind of just washed it away because he had become so powerful that everyone, most of the Germans decided to believe him and follow him, and I just think it's absolutely insane to think that one guy and just a couple of followers killed so many people.
Yeah. Like Caden said, I believe that they. I'm sorry, I forgot.
Yeah.
How do we keep that part of history from happening again?
You learn about it so you don't make the same mistakes, and you remember that, and you try to prevent what's happening, and you try to treat people better by not judging them.
I would like to add on to that, I remember the quote, I can't remember who it's by though. It's like everyone makes mistakes. Now you can look back on them and remember not to make the same mistakes again.
All right. I'm gonna have to. You can write that down, add it to your discussion prep sheet. I appreciate that very much. I hate that we had to rush today, guys. Great job. I continue to see you grow. Make sure that you've looked at your rubric and circled what you know you did and put it on my desk. Thanks, guys.